Hi, my name is Mary Spender, and you are watching
Tuesday Talks.
And this is Sarah Longfield.
Tuesday Talks.
I understand that you write, produce, and then obviously perform all your own material.
Yes.
Tell me a bit more about producing.
So it wasn't ever a thing I'd thought about or considered being able to do because I was super intimidated by it for a really long time because like every DAW it looks like an alien like interface when you first like get into it. But I had a couple lessons from Keith Merrow like way back in like 2011, and he kind of like just basic stuff. He was like, this is what an EQ does. Like, this is how you record. This is how you arm a track. Like, really, really basic stuff. And he was like, I don't want to get into it too much because part of it is you just trial and erroring it until you get it right. And I figured out all about compressors and how I want to do that and like, I don't know, everything related to that. And then like you can track all my horrible progress from making absolutely garbage trash mixes to like something that's not like offensive anymore. So like we've gone from so it's all there if you want to check it out. It's documented all my mistakes, but yeah, so I guess it's just been years of trial and error at this point.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the videos. Like, there are some videos where I played terribly, but they were shot a few years ago, and some pretty recently, but you can still like track a progression, and even in terms of like the other videos that I make too, like it's cool. It's nice seeing that.
It's real.
Yeah.
Because that's how it happens. Like you don't just wake up good at a thing one day, you know?
Yeah. And so how do you write your music? Like
the producing actually changed the way I write because when I love it so much and now I have the tools to make anything I want. I can just sit down and track, 2 guitar riffs and then write a bass riff under it, a drum part under it, track maybe 1 vocal line over it, and then I have a whole 8-second chunk and I can just keep going from there rather than sitting down and writing out, a 3-minute long guitar song and then trying to like cater everything to that. I have like all these tools to like diversify it, I suppose.
Okay, that's interesting because I just write singing and guitar at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Just like
really
all
simple. Yeah.
No, that's way harder for me. I can't do that at all. So I really respect that. I can't like write a whole song anymore in one go.
I'd say the other way around, like starting and that I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd find it really intimidating.
Yeah, the opposite for me. Absolutely. I can do it like in little chunks and that's it.
How about lyrics and like song melodies?
Same thing.
Yeah?
Yep, one bit at a time. I record it, I'll sleep on it, wake up and do another little like 10 seconds of it. I can't do it all in one go.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
Cool. That's amazing. So in terms of your like guitar style, to me it's jaw dropping. So how did you even start? Like, what inspired you to start guitar in the first place, and then lead you down this route of piano style?
Piano. That's pretty much what it was. So my violin teacher moved away, and I just quit playing violin, which I regret now. That sucks, but. I was like, well, guitars have strings, so I asked for one for Christmas, and I got a really cheap Hamer, and I hated it for like a really long time until I started, like, someone showed me metal, and I was like, oh, I was like a little weird ADHD kid, and I was like, yeah. And then I couldn't play like anything, and I was mad about that because I have no patience, and the only thing I know how to do was play piano and like a little bit of violin, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna play it like a piano. So that was out of necessity, not like want. It was just like that's all I could do.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's pretty crazy.
What about you?
Well, I was like really inspired by like Martin Knopfler, John Mayer, that stuff. I initially started just doing like rhythm guitar just to accompany myself singing, and then it got like a little bit more intricate, but nothing virtuosic. But now I do like the bass line and then like the top line at the same time. But that came from like breaking my finger. So I had to start like playing bass lines with my thumb because it was just for a series of gigs when I was like, I think I was 20, maybe a little bit younger. But yeah, I had to stop this train, and then I was dropping picks in gigs and stuff. So it's like all out of kind of laziness and weirdness rather than just actually being like, this is how I'm going to play, and this is how I'm going to accompany myself. I'm just going to pull you back in the frame of it.
Sorry. Oh, okay. I thought you wanted this. I was like, I don't know.
No. But yeah, that's how I started. But I guess it's sort of like learning to be your own thing, I think is really important. Yeah. Because I can't shred, but I don't need to shred.
Yep.
Like, to sing and play and make the kind of music that I want to make. I was like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to play. I guess the same for you, right?
Yeah, but the opposite. I'm super intimidated by like singing and playing, and I cannot at the same time. You could give me like the easiest, dumbest song in the world and be like, sing it and play these 3 chords, and like, couldn't do it. My brain can't separate like that at all. So like,
Right.
it was like just shredding stuff out of attention deficit disorder and necessity. So like, yeah. So yeah, no, totally just like opposite sides, but like same kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have a unique style, and everyone's blown away by it. You
Likewise.
can tell by the YouTube hits, if I'm honest. Cool. Okay. Do you want to talk a bit more about your relationship with Strandberg? Obviously, this isn't your own guitar, but I love the artwork on yours. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I started working with Strandberg around 2012. I sort of like by happenstance ended up buying one of their guitars, and by happenstance it was like a long, complicated situation of like I ordered this one thing and it didn't work, and it wasn't through Strandberg, so I had a little extra money, so I bought this Strandberg instead. And then Ola like saw that video, and we decided to start working together. And he knew that I loved to make art and paint and stuff too, so he was like, well, why don't I just send you a body and you just paint it? And I was like, that's a great idea, and I've never thought of doing that, and this is going to be awesome. And I sat on that body for like 4 months and didn't touch it, and then like the deadline was like the next day, and I did that one paint job in like a half hour and drove it to Chicago to get like coated and stuff, and like now it's just like part of the brand, which is kind of crazy. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
it's weird.
I think in terms of being like a polymath, I think it's kind of like, that blows my mind in terms of like the actual art.
Oh yeah, the art of it.
Did you study it, or just like?
So I wanted to. When I graduated high school, I wanted to go to art college and just do design and like illustration and animation and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't afford college because I live in the United States. So that was just like out the window kind of thing. And I was like, well, now I have to do something else. So I just kept playing guitar, and that kind of started to work a little bit. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do. So yeah, the art was what I wanted to do. That was like, I was done with the music thing. I did YouTube when I was 15, and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Then I just kind of got back into it because I had to.
Right. Okay, but yeah, it's great. It's
yeah,
great.
I mean, I love it. We're here, so that's cool. I'm in Germany hanging with people, but yeah, it was an accident.
Were you always drawing growing up then? Just like that was the thing as well?
Yeah.
Like, God.
But I also sucked at that, like compared to everything else. Like I was like, well, all I want to do is I want to like be an artist, but like everyone was like better at that. I could just make colorful things. So like I was never quite like up to the par of like what you need to be like a designer or something. It was just colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't quite get in on scholarship or anything anywhere either because I just wasn't that good. But I don't know, it's worked out well for guitar stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But earlier you were mentioning that your knowledge of music theory isn't as like some of the guys here are insane.
Oh my god, I know.
But you studied violin, so did you learn music theory for violin? Did you learn classical music?
I did learn classical music, and my teacher was really understanding of both my piano teacher and my violin teacher. Like I really struggled with the whole reading the sheet music thing. So like a lot of what went down was they would play me the thing and then I would play it.
Oh wow, so your ear training must be like
I don't know about that, but it was the only thing I could do. So I would be like, I would just try to watch them do it and then try to do it back, like monkey see, monkey do. And that was all I was able to do with guitar too. I would look up YouTube videos and just like try to watch people do it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because I did viola. I moved over from violin to viola when I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
Went to university and did that because
Nice.
university is like affordable in England. Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
It was when I was getting there. And I really struggled with the constraints of classical music, and like now I really wish I'd like studied jazz or done something like that where improvisation was just every day. Because classical music, it's like playing by numbers. Obviously, It's far more sophisticated than I'm making
No,
out.
I agree.
But that I've never had a guitar lesson because it was like an antidote, and also my parents couldn't afford to give me guitar lessons on top of everything else. So they were like, just learn it yourself if you're going to. But YouTube wasn't really around when I was... How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, I'm 27. So when I was trying to learn, I'd like have a tape player with some of my brother's music on it, and I'd like stop it and restart it, and then just like try and play along. So I like tried to like learn the Darkness solos and stuff like that, and Muse.
That is awesome.
But rock music was like my first love, and then I kind of fell into singer-songwriting and doing that. But yeah, that's interesting. So I don't know, like honestly, it's so amazing to know that you don't have to know all that stuff to be able to do what you do. It's
Yeah.
like really encouraging.
Yeah, try it. Just do the thing.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, thank you very much for joining me on this Tuesday Talks.
yeah, thanks for having me.
Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you next week. Thanks.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.